Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Christine.
Christine, we didn't ask what movie we're watching. Who are you?
I am Christine, the one and only.
Welcome. Christine's here. We're doing Christine. Andy's reading his phone. I don't know what the hell's going on.
How many more stunt casting things can we do where we have the person on whose name is the same as the movie? There's not that many.
Arthur.
No. Carrie.
Do we know an Arthur? Oh, Carrie. We should do Carrie with Carrie.
Carrie here.
We have Logan on for Logan.
Logan.
Yeah.
But that's like 30 years from now.
That might be the extent of the family members.
I'll come on
that
for
can
any
come
Friday
on.
the 13th.
Oh, Jason
Oh,
lives. Jason lives. We'll do part
Jason
6.
Takes Manhattan.
Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, there we go. Brian's song.
Oh, there we go.
Life of Brian.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got 2 for you.
that's true.
I was going to say something about Brian, but I think I was getting that mixed up with
I should
What
just,
about
I
Bob?
should just punch that in the IMDb, punch in
Yeah.
names and see what
I don't know if
comes
there's
up.
any
Yes,
Andy ones. I
No,
don't know.
you'll have to watch Toy Story just to talk about Andy on the show.
There might be like an Andy something.
There might be.
I can't think of anything.
Are you going to be able to drown out that dog barking upstairs? Because goddamn,
Yeah.
it's bothering me.
Yeah, it'll all get
Okay.
that
That's
one
background
filter I
sounds.
use.
She's
Yeah.
so cute.
Andy Griffith.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, Andy Griffith show, sure, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Anal Andy.
Oh,
One of the people at the concert yesterday was wearing an I Love Anal shirt.
Oh,
And of course, our friend Brian, who was with us, said, giving or receiving.
oh.
was it a
Just-
guy?
Oh.
It was a guy, but it was just such a, like, I don't know, lame shirt to wear. It's the only place you could wear it at, like a heavy metal concert. Like, you're not wearing that to church or to the store. Maybe
You're inviting that question, though, by wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing? Christine.
Christine, rated R. Running time is 1 hour and 50 minutes. Released December 9th, 1983. Directed by
Carpenter.
Johnny
John
Carpenter. That's right. This is not our first John Carpenter movie.
No, we did The Thing last year. Is that the only other one we've done so far, The Thing? We didn't do Escape from New York?
We didn't do Halloween 3, right?
Well, he didn't do Halloween
That's
3.
what I mean. He
but
didn't do Halloween
yeah.
3, but
Is
we
he
did.
still
Oh, yeah.
alive?
He is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He still does conventions, too. He signs at the Chillers. And,
Really?
yeah.
And he was also married for a time to the patron saint of our 1982 podcast.
Ah, Miss Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And he had her in a couple of his movies.
Including Escape from New York, which I think it was just her voice or something
Yep,
like
just
that.
her voice, and there's Creep Show.
Creep Show for sure, yeah.
Mm. Oh, good time.
Oh, she was great. Creep show.
Yeah.
She was. Billy.
Billy, yeah. She's very Christine-like.
John Carpenter's top 4, just run through those, was Halloween, The Fog, which was also Adrienne Barbeau,
And Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Yeah, right?
Dark Star, and Escape from New York.
I've never seen Dark Star.
Never even heard of it.
I
never
read what
heard
it
of
was
it.
about. It looked interesting.
So one of
It'd
those.
definitely be one
And
of
Escape from New York was great. Escape from L.A. was terrible.
Yes.
And did John Carpenter direct Escape from L.A.? Probably.
I think so, yeah.
Not good.
Real quick, I'm going to pull up Dark Star.
Yeah, I've barely even heard of that.
I know, yeah. Never heard of it.
But it almost sounds like it would be good based on its name only.
Dark Helmet.
Dark.
It came out in 74.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's old.
In the far reaches of space, a small crew 20 years into their solitary mission find things beginning to go hilariously wrong.
Hilariously wrong.
That's
so
what I
is it a
find interesting.
comedy?
It says it's hilariously wrong.
Oh.
My hand's missing. This is awesome.
Is this like one of his first movies? I,
I guess so. 74.
It's rated G.
Wow.
Oh my God. Now I don't want to watch. I'm
Well,
not watching
yeah.
it now.
If it's hilariously wrong.
Yeah, but PG in the 70s was like anal.
But I remember the black hole, speaking of anal, the black hole was G.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, I remember that.
I'm like, I don't want to watch a G movie. I was too old. I was like 9. I'm like, I'm not watching G rated movies, but I did like the black hole.
but my scariest movie of all time is Burnt Offerings, and that's rated PG.
Yeah, it's horror movies are weird like that. Like they almost like they'll cut out one death so that it doesn't get an R rating or something like that. I actually read something about this movie where they added F words just to get it an R rating.
Really?
Like they reviewed it and they were like PG and they were like, nah, we'd rather have it as an R. And so they went back and added some fucks to it.
I'm glad they
So,
made it an R, yeah. IMDb description. A nerdish boy buys a strange car with an evil mind of its own, and his nature starts to change to reflect it. In 1957 in Detroit, a red Plymouth Fury is built and is the cause of 2 accidents, one of them fatal. Still in the assembly line. 21 years later, the outcast and bullied nerd Arnold Arnie Cunningham, I didn't say what they call him in the movie. I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Is getting a ride with his best and only friend, Dennis Gilder, and he sees the wrecked car for sale in a garden. Arnie immediately falls in love with the car. He was already in love with the car, I think.
He was in love with it as they drove by it.
He said, back up, back up. The car was given the name Christine by its first owner. He brings the car to a repair shop of the despicable Will Darnell and works hard to restore the classic car. While he works in the restoration, he changes his personality to a cocky teenager and he dates the most beautiful girl in the high school, Lee Cabot.
I don't agree with that.
I thought the blonde was hotter.
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston, yeah.
Definitely.
Who's recently passed away.
Yes.
Soon, Arnie becomes selfish and jealous of the supernatural Christine that kills everyone that is a threat to them. By the way, it was a Darnell's garage was a do-it-yourself garage. You don't see many of those.
Yeah. And
I didn't even know they actually
it was
existed.
do-it-yourself garage and like
storage.
wrecking ball kind of place too. It said there was a
It was like free parts. Like he got mad that he was taking apart, and it's just like you're giving them for free.
that
like
whole
a junkyard.
interaction between those two was great because he said that whole thing. He's like, I don't want you like building your whole car, and then he made him maybe you can do some odd jobs around here. He's like, I'll think about it.
You can change the toilet paper, and you can then have the free
put
parts.
the toilet paper on the roll. Like, how long is that going to take you? How many rolls are you going through a day that needs to be changed multiple times?
She'll
It's like,
possess you,
too.
then destroy you. She's death on wheels. She's
Christine.
yeah. Once she lures you behind her wheel, you're all hers. Body by Plymouth, soul by Satan.
Oh, I like that one.
Seductive, passionate, possessive.
like me.
Say hello to Christine, your girlfriend, the car.
Is that a good description of
The
her?
devil's car. She's the devil incarnate. She's Christine, body by Plymouth, soul by Satan. That one again. Watch out for her this Christmas at a theater near you.
Christmas was this? When did this come
December
out?
9th.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay. Back in the day when they couldn't figure out that Halloween was like October 31st, and they're just putting movies out whenever.
Watch out for me. I am pure evil. I am
Christine.
hello. Hell hath no fury like a 1958 Plymouth. How do you kill something that possibly can't be alive? She was born bad, which, by the way, George Thorogood,
Oh yeah, Bad of the Bone was in this. a couple
brutal.
times.
I cannot stand
George.
George Thorogood.
I love George Thorogood.
Garbage.
Love him.
Basura for all our Spanish listeners out there.
Do we have any?
She was born Ishmael.
Oh yes,
Right?
Ish, you listening, dude? You still
Is he
listening?
What's up, buddy? That's all I have for taglines. So we're going to get right into the cast. And I believe you wanted to talk about Keith Gordon, who played Arnie.
Do I? Well, I
So
mean,
you had a few things you wanted
well,
to say
he
about
is possibly the worst actor to ever be a leading man actor that I've ever
Ever.
encountered. Like
him. But had a
his-
good run, too.
yeah, an amazing run, like a 10-year run from Jaws 2 to Back to School.
Yeah.
He was in Legend of Billie Jean. Like he did big time movies, and he's a terrible, terrible actor.
A Midnight Clear, Waking the Dead, Mother Night, and Fargo. He directed some Fargo episodes. That's
Is
in
that
the
his
top
four? So like
Okay. That's
back-
directing, not acting in.
Summer, but he directed Fargo. He wasn't in Fargo.
Mhm.
I thought, okay. I thought the other guy was a big time director too. The dude that plays Dennis. I'm surprised
he
none
is.
of his things were Back to School or Christine because
Yeah.
I mean Back to School was gigantic. That movie was so
Christine
big, but-
even knew
That's
he
what-
was from back.
I mean,
then.
that's
Yeah.
where I recognize them from. But even then,
I would have
still
thought that would have been in his top
and he
four.
was a
Yeah.
terrible actor in that too. I mean, like I remember like some of the interactions between him and Rodney, who was not an actor and was just being Rodney, but at least it felt
At least you had-
genuine.
yeah,
And he was,
yeah, you had
He
the laugh.
accepted that.
And he had
God,
laughs coming from his lines.
oh
You know
my
what
god,
I mean?
like
So-
he was just, Dad, you don't know what it's like to be in college. I'm like, oh my lord, dude.
Well,
I better take
and
two on that
he
one.
gets
then he
possessed
got-
by Christine a little fast in this too, and it's all of a sudden his eyes are blackened, and he's just like mean.
I want to know what Dennis's deal. Oh, I guess we're doing the cast. Okay, we'll get it.
So Dennis is played by John Stockwell.
Yeah.
His top four was Top Gun, Christine,
Yeah, Top Gun,
Blue Crush, and Into the Blue.
Blue Crush.
I think he was directing those ones.
I
I
didn't
was
know
gonna say he
those two.
directed a lot of stuff. He directed
The surf ones he did.
I think he directed some Leftovers,
That's
and I
Blue
think
Crush.
he directed some. I thought he directed some Fargos. Maybe they both directed Fargo. I mean,
It's
Fargo's been
possible
on
it
for
might
a
not just
while.
be in his top four.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexandra.
I'm surprised he didn't have a bigger like acting career because he's a pretty good looking guy. And like I
Yeah,
was,
Top
I was
Gun, he
shocked
was-
that
He
like
might not have
good
wanted.
Top Gun.
He might
It
not
might not have,
because that's
yeah.
the dude that played Buddy. He just said it wasn't what he liked. He acts every now and then still, but he
Buddy,
was on a farm.
The 75-year-old that was playing the high school guy there.
I looked him up. He wasn't that old. I have it
He
here.
looked so old.
I know.
I was like, how old? I was
I
like,
had to- I
said that too.
I couldn't find
was
his.
like, these are not
He didn't
high
have a
school.
Wikipedia page, so that's as
Yeah,
much
all
investigating
you
as
had to
I
do was
did.
look
So I
on
was
his
like,
IMDb.
yeah, I didn't even. That was too
You
much.
know how
for me.
old he was in this? 24. He wasn't that
Yeah,
old.
he was younger than Stockard Channing was in
Yeah.
Grease, but he looked so old in this.
That's what I thought so too. It had to be the hair.
Yeah,
His hair
the
was just-
mutton chops and stuff
Were
like
they
that.
supposed to be seniors though?
I guess so.
Like,
Yeah,
they
because I
never
guess he's of
mentioned that.
driving age, right, and just getting a car. So
Yeah.
roughly, probably around that age.
Okay, 17 years.
Yeah.
Seniors.
That was that the whole switchblade scene with the yogurt,
Oh.
and I was like, really? I'm like,
In school, and like that was just.
I've never
ridiculous.
understood the mentality of a bully. So whenever I see it, like especially in a movie, I'm just like, what? Why are you doing this?
And, like,
Like,
yeah.
what
And
are
then,
you
why
getting
does he
off
have
on
to?
this?
They always have to have lackeys.
Yeah, well, of course,
what I
because
mean?
that makes them feel important.
Yeah, and it's just
And the lackeys were, oh my
They
god, what a
were
disaster!
awful.
they were not good lackeys.
No.
No, the one guy, the first guy that gets killed, he looked
heavier
like
one?
he looked like a combination between like Artie Lang and Jonah Hill. Like every time he
Yeah.
popped up,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think I'm thinking.
I'm like, wow, like
Wouldn't
this guy
think
looks like
Jonah Hill.
Artie, and then when he was running, he
and
looked
then
like Jonah
the,
Hill.
fat kid from what was his name in Last American Virgin?
Oh, yeah, that kid was much bigger though.
yeah, but he had his look though, like
yeah.
And he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great. Yes.
I think I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, Last American Virgin was great.
Robert Prosky, he played Darnell. He died in 2008. 77 complications from heart surgery.
He was.
Wait, which one? Who's Darnell? Which one's
He was
that?
the garage.
The
garage owner.
Oh, he was in Last Action Hero. He was the movie theater owner. He was the movie. That's really all I knew
That
him
didn't make
from.
his top four.
Oh, wow, okay.
Thief.
He looked
Yeah.
great in this.
Yeah.
He looked like I don't know how they filmed him or whatever, but he looked properly degenerate.
He looked like a guy like when you find out
He
that
really
he's a
fit the
pedophile,
part.
you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yep.
yeah, he was a pedophile.
Yeah,
Yep,
but he
for
was also
sure.
the guy that lived down. He was the guy that everybody talked about. He was always so quiet. I never thought he was.
No, I don't think this
not that guy, but
yeah.
that's what they look like usually.
That scene where they first get the car there and he's like, no smoking. He's like, those guys are smoking over there.
he said, "Don't get swiped."
He's like, you're going to cost your boy the spot here or
But
whatever.
he was in Mrs. Doubtfire,
Oh, was he? Okay.
Oh, really?
Broadcast News, and Dead Man Walking.
Wow.
He's
Those
definitely
are
one of those
big-time movies.
character actors you recognize.
Yeah,
Yeah, as soon as he-
but
as soon as he popped
you don't
up.
remember him.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know his name. You see him.
Right.
And everything.
Yeah, I don't know his name now.
That's how I felt. I knew him, but I didn't know
Yeah.
from where.
Last Action Hero was the thing that as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, he's the guy that
Speaking of the
owns
guy who was in
place.
a lot of stuff, Harry Dean Stanton. He played Junkins. Was the cop.
And I felt kind of wasted in this. He's only got really
He does not
two
have much in
scenes.
this.
Yeah, he's like in
Yeah.
two scenes.
He's got the
right?
scene at the
And not
school
much.
and then at the garage, and that's
Yeah.
it, really.
Yep.
Oh, and at the end.
Oh, and right, he's with
Oh,
him at
yeah.
the junkyard at
Which
the end.
was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
He died in September 15th, 2017, 91, natural causes.
91. So he's like 60 here almost. Well, no, 50, right? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
His
Our
top
age.
four. You want to give it a shot?
Alien,
Alien is in his top four, yes.
Avengers.
No.
Is Christine?
Mm-mm.
Christine won't be able to get a single one.
No, but I remember it was
This
who
one
was
you
it? Brady or
won't get.
Connor
Lucky
walked in
you
and they
won't
knew
get
him
that.
right away.
Carrie's or
Lucky.
Christine's looking a little Korean.
Uh oh. Is it what Jason's passing around? Nice.
What?
He was in The Green Mile.
Oh, okay. I've
yeah.
seen that, but I don't remember.
And
him in
also
that.
the one I thought you might have got was Repo Man.
Oh, God damn it. Yes, Repo Man, of course.
When is that?
That
Soon.
was a little later.
I was going to say
think.
like 85 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That
That's
is
a good one. I like that
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. I'm going to look that one up real quick. But while we do that, Christine Belfort, she played Regina Cunningham. That was
The mom.
The
the
mom.
mom. Yes.
She's definitely Steve Sanders' mom on 90210.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, oh my God, Mrs. Sanders. I was like, nice. And she's also, man, like I just listened to our not
84. It's next month or next
Oh,
year.
there you go,
I mean,
next
yeah.
our Dead Zone podcast, and I'm talking in that one about how Stephen King has this type for moms because Christopher Walken's mom and that was like this overbearing religious mom. And again in this one, I'm like, man, Stephen King must have hated his mother because every one of these movies has just this terrible mom. And Carrie's mom is obviously a terrible
Oh, she's-
person. And
yeah, horrible.
wow,
She
it's just
plays
him.
Evelyn Stratton on Silver Spoon.
Is that
too.
is that
She's,
his mom, the grandma
Ricky's mom.
of Ricky
No,
Schroeder?
Ricky's mom that Edward
that got divorced. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I guess she would have been young enough that time
Yeah.
to be Ricky's mom.
Yeah, so she plays Evelyn Stratton.
I don't remember the mom ever
I
being
don't
on that
ever
show.
remember the mom. I wouldn't.
I remember
sure.
Aaron Gray for sure.
Oh yeah.
The secretary.
Yeah, the mom, she was only in like 7 episodes.
Oh,
so,
okay,
but
yeah.
she was in it. Yeah. She was also, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know. Did you say Battlestar Galactica?
No, I don't
She was in
remember that. The Lauren Green one, I assume.
And she
I
was
don't
also
remember
in The
that.
Greatest American Hero.
Okay.
Only
Great
two
show.
episodes,
Oh.
but yeah.
Did she play Robert Culp's side piece or something like that?
I don't remember her, but in it.
Who's the girl from that?
Stephanie
Damn, sorry.
Power?
That's not Stephanie
no,
Powers.
no.
Stephanie Powers is one of those girls back then, but I want to say Priscilla or
Give me
Priscilla
the-
Barnes. Priscilla
the
Barnes.
initials.
No, Priscilla Barnes.
Give me the
is Terry.
initials, Christine, when you find that. We'll go into William Ostrander. That's Buddy Repperton.
Oh, okay, he was the 50-year-old senior in high school there.
Yeah.
No signal.
No
I'm
signal.
not getting it
He was
either.
well. He looked like a villain.
Oh, yeah.
Are you looking it up?
Yep, I'm a guy. Yeah, he was such a dick. Died awesomely, by the way.
He was in Beverly Hills Cop.
CS.
CS. Is it CS? Oh boy, let me think about this one.
Hard C, soft S.
Cunt.
Not that hard.
Really? Can
Oh.
you spell? There's no S. in-
Hard C. That's what I was.
Hard C,
Hard
so
C, soft S.
You got that.
Is it
but-
Kathleen? Oh man, Kathy.
It is. It is. And
Cunts.
Seymour? Stefan? No. Seymour.
Connie Selica.
Connie Selica,
Yes,
yeah.
Connie Selica.
Connie.
Fuck, I knew that.
Good job.
Kelly Preston played
Yeah,
Roseanne.
Kelly Preston. I had no recollection of her being in this.
She wasn't in it much.
But as soon as she popped up-
she didn't speak much either. Did
Well, she
even
was
speak?
hitting on him very early at the
Yeah.
locker.
She was
Dennis,
just
and
like
stuff
dejected the whole time.
that. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why is he not more into her?
Yeah.
What's his problem? Like, I don't.
But is that she the one that she was like loose? You know.
I don't know. I mean,
easy,
like-
or-
They just
They all
showed
like
her,
Lee
but-
for some reason.
Yeah, but she
Which-
was hitting on him at the
Lee
very
wasn't
beginning.
that great.
No.
I would not have been into Lee when I was in high school.
No.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
they
She
I
wouldn't,
agree.
she wouldn't have
like,
liked
you know.
me either.
And
but
Christina and I were talking about this earlier today. Like, I had. Did we get to her yet? Are we still doing Kelly Preston? Sorry, we could talk
No, we
about
can
Lee when we
skip
get
it.
to. Well, I was going to say.
we do Alexandra Paul.
Oh,
we did
yeah.
it
Yeah,
already.
like
So you didn't
I
recognize
had
her?
no idea she was in Baywatch because
Well, I
I
skipped over
never
by accident. I'm sorry.
never watched Baywatch.
How many
so-
episodes of Baywatch was Alexandra Paul in?
Oh,
A lot
We'll
of
go
them.
around.
I'm gonna say 60.
60.
How many episodes of Baywatch
I
were
don't-
there?
can't
you
tell
can't
you
get
that.
that information.
It's not how
Okay.
it works.
Okay, 40.
60, 40.
I know for a fact that Baywatch was on for at least 12 years.
Oh my God.
because,
Was it really?
Because I
way
remember like
But
one,
was she in every season?
one of those memories that's etched in my mind is Michelle walking in the door at our house in Yardville saying, I just heard on the news that like a show's getting canceled after 12 years. I'm like, The Simpsons? This is how long ago that was. The Simpsons have been on for like 50 years now. But like at that point, The Simpsons have been on for 12 years. I'm like, oh, they're canceling The Simpsons? And she's like, no, Baywatch. I'm like, oh.
That's when
so
the
I know.
Simpsons were still good.
So it was. And
I didn't realize it was that long.
Now I kind of wish The Simpsons had been canceled after 12 years because then it would have had a perfect run. But anyway, that's how I know that Baywatch was on for at least 12 years. And I'm going to say the old 25 episodes a season. So that's
Yeah.
300 episodes. But I don't think she was on all of them. So I'm going to say 250.
I didn't realize it was on that long.
Do you want to change your
Oh,
answer?
no way.
No,
I've,
no,
I've
no.
just
Go
done all the
ahead, go
math for her.
Go ahead.
She was in 92
Oh, shit. Oh,
of
well.
242 episodes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I almost had the out. So
See, if
I
I
thought
realized
she
it
was,
was that many seasons, then I would have guessed.
I thought she
higher.
was on longer than that.
That's a fun game we do on here. That's my thing. I like to get
Yeah.
people. Get the season.
I watched Baywatch and I didn't realize it was on 12 seasons.
I never watched an episode.
Never
But I did
watched even a
stop.
second
I
of
guess I
Baywatch.
should have realized because I did stop. Like I watched
Did
the
you watch
beginning.
it?
I did normally like 10, 15 minutes, and then I lost interest.
As soon as I saw her on the screen, I was like, "Oh, she's
Yeah.
not wearing a bathing suit."
Playing
where I knew her from.
playing Vandenberg was Stuart Charno.
Wait, hang on. I don't mean to interrupt. Kelly Preston, do you ever top 5? 4?
Oh,
top
did we
4?
do it? I thought
We
we
did
did.
because I kind of ran over to the other girl.
I only have
got
her
pissed.
top 2 because for some reason it looks like I missed the rest of it.
Well, the only other thing I can
Well.
think of her that she
I'll
was
pull it
in
up.
was Oh shit, I'm forgetting the movie now.
John Travolta.
No, he was in her.
No, the movie she was in, she got totally naked in it. And she was young. It was like right around this time. Oh my God. I had it in my head as soon as I saw her yesterday. I'm like, oh, she's from
Battlefield Earth.
No. Oh, she
She wasn't naked in that.
Travolta made her get
The
naked.
Cat in the Hat.
No. Oh,
Jerry Maguire.
No.
For Love of the Game. That's her top 4, Andy. What year did you say?
85 would be Secret Admirer.
Secret Admirer. Yes. Great movie.
Hawaii Five-0.
Secret Admirer.
She's in an episode of that.
You got to use like some context clues to see which one she might be naked.
She was Kelly Palsies in Hawaii Five-0. Her name was still Kelly Palsies at the time.
She only can act under those initials or something like that.
But Stuart Charno played Vandenberg. He was one of the lackeys.
The bullies. Okay.
One-
Yeah,
bullies.
I got him here. Christine being in one of them, but he was also in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh,
I met most of that's the one who did our video, and that's her
Okay.
right there, Lauren Marie Taylor.
Which one?
She's in Friday the 13th.
I
Part
wonder
2.
which one he is in part 2 because I can't remember. I mean, I've seen part
One of
2
the
100
blonde
times,
kids,
but
yeah.
like
Which was one that we watched last year.
part 3.
Oh, that was good.
Okay, now that I
enjoyed
know
one.
he was the blonde kid, he was the one in the garage working on the car when they all blew up in the garage.
Okay.
So he was that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely remember him in front
Oh,
of
the blonde one.
Yep, the
Okay.
taller guy.
He
the
was
taller-
also in Star Trek: The Next Generation,
Ah,
and just one of the guys.
excellent. Great movie. Eventually we'll get there.
That was
Yeah,
good
that's coming
movie.
up soon too. Robert Darnell played Michael Cunningham. That's the father.
Oh, yeah.
He had a
Bar-
weird face.
barely
His
recognizable.
His eyes were very far apart.
He didn't look real. Yeah.
Yeah. He died 1991, age 60, undisclosed. Where he died from.
Wow.
So, but Christine was in his top 4, but I didn't recognize him from anything else. But his top 4 had Hill Street Blues, Remington Steele, and Malibu Express.
So he was one of those TV guys. I'll assume Malibu Express was a TV show. I don't know that.
I don't know.
And the last person I had from the cast was played Moochie, was Malcolm Denary. Top 4 of his was
Ghostbusters.
Lords of Discipline. It's not in his top 4.
Well, one of the guys was the Ghostbusters, the guy who Bill Murray kept zapping.
Oh, okay.
One of the
Was that
Yeah,
the
one of-
guy?
one of the bad kids,
when
yeah.
when Buddy was driving the car, was he the one shotgun? He had the big afro. He had that
Yes,
big
yes,
giant
in the
afro.
back seat, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's the guy from Ghostbusters for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that's
That's
awesome.
when you
that
said
say
it.
that.
That's when you
I
said
think Moochie was
Yeah.
the bigger one, right?
I think Moochie was the one that got killed first. He was the
Yeah.
Artie Lang looking guy. Yeah,
Lords of Discipline, Heaven Help Us, Godzilla, I'm not sure which one, and Christine.
Artie. By the way, I love you, dude. I'm not making fun of your
Stephen
weight in
Cash.
any way.
Already come on the podcast.
Yes, I thought I had one other.
15% of this budget was spent on the cars, and by the end of filming, all but 2 of them were destroyed.
Jesus,
Well,
I
yeah.
wonder, like,
They ruined that 67 Camaro. At
oh
least-
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Dodge
Mhm.
Charger and stuff like that. Oh, I guess that didn't get
and
ruined.
the Plymouth Fury. I mean,
Yeah, but I wonder how many of those Plymouths were in the shape that they were in. They're just like, oh, it'll just be the crashed car. You know, they had to have some obviously in good shape, but I
Yeah.
bet a lot of them are just all beaters, and they.
Well, that's what I made a comment to Christine while we were watching it. That
Wait, you made a comment to the movie while you were watching it?
I did it, and it responded back.
But vroom, vroom.
When she was like fixing herself, that had to have been reversed. Like they like had something
No
inside of
CGI.
it, ripping
No
it apart.
CGI.
Since they
I
didn't
actually
have
saw that
CGI.
they built a plastic car that they were able to like crush, and then they had hydraulics in it that like pushed
popped it back out.
it out a lot. I mean, not all of it. You couldn't do like the grill
But
and
just
stuff
you
like
only
that.
see,
that
that's
way,
why they
but-
would only show parts of the car at a time.
And in fact, the mirror, when the mirror fixed itself, that definitely looked like all of a sudden the mirror
reverse.
just went like, whoop, like the glass went back
That
up.
was
even the headlights, when the glass
I was
came up
like-
for the
I was
headlights,
like, how
like
does
that too.
Like some of that glass had to have been left at the scene of the accident. Like, has it regenerating matter just to make its mirrors work?
Listen,
again? But
Steven didn't have time to write about that part. all right?
now,
Yeah, I
when
figured that part out.
when the car healed itself the first time after the bullies bashed it apart, did it scrape the poop off the dashboard?
Yeah, where does it go?
Like what happened there with that poop? Like, did it get super hot? Did it warm itself up and just burn it off or something?
Arnie knew about it.
He
And
did.
why did it
Yep.
take? Why didn't the car it took a while to first fix itself?
Well, in
Yeah,
the
why didn't it
then
fix
other times
itself
it fixed itself
until
right
Arnie
away,
saw
yeah.
it?
well, in the book, it goes into those details. And one of the things about in the book, the car has to be moving to repair itself. And and there's a whole process in the very early stages of the book that Darnell is at the garage owner. He's like wondering why Artie is just like pushing it around the garage. Arnie pushing it around the garage because it has to move to heal. And then at one point he was just like in the back doing donuts, like repairing the car. But also in the book, the car didn't get possessed like on the assembly line. It was just a regular car, and the guy, that's it. The old man that sold the car, he's from Home Alone. He's the old man from Home Alone.
Oh,
Okay.
That was the one guy that was like, I knew there was another cast member, the Home Alone old man. His brother who bought the car, he made it evil. Like I think sacrificed.
Remember, he had his daughter.
I think
died
he
in it, right?
sacrificed his wife and his daughter to whoever, and that made the car evil. So it wasn't always evil. And then once he died or once he abandoned it, it just kind of like Christine lost the will to live, and it just kind of sat there and rotted out or something like that. I read the book a
because he
long time
loved
ago.
his
but
car.
He loved the car more than he loved his family.
More than his wife,
Yes.
his family. So he let them die in
The car was in rough shape, the higher miles. That's why the miles.
And then,
whenever
I
the
said that too,
miles
the miles
dropped,
kept going
it was a better looking car.
Yeah, when it went all the way down to zero.
I never would have been able to say any of the things that Arnie said to his parents.
Oh,
because
my
I would have.
Oh my God.
I would have been
Get
beat
your
up.
mitts off me, motherfucker. I was like, God damn.
At least his dad did chase after him that one
Yes.
time and said,
Yeah.
"Listen,
That's
you're
when
not gonna-"
he said that
Yeah.
to him.
Of course, that's when he should have died. Like back then, that's when the parent would have killed him.
Oh yeah, I would have been.
It, also in the book, Arnie and his mom die in a car accident separate from Dennis and
Christine?
Lee. Like they're trying to destroy Christine in the garage, and Arnie and his mom are visiting colleges or something like that, and they get in a car accident and die. And I think it was supposed to be like as they were killing Christine in the garage, the spirit of whoever, the old man, went into the car that killed
I gotta get this book.
them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot more supernatural.
I
read it. I don't remember.
I don't
any
think
of
I read it.
this.
I want
Yeah.
to read this one. I think I'm going to go get this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this was, I really like
Next
this book.
Amazon purchase.
There you go.
There was a lot more obviously detail in the book than there was in the movie. Like the movie just kind of said, it's an evil car. Just accept that.
But
And
it
you
was a
do,
quick
because
one.
why
That's
not?
Because they were made the same year. The book was written and the movie was made.
Yeah, I think
Around
he
the same
sold the
time.
rights before the book was done.
Immediately, they
And,
decided to make it into a movie. So.
Portions of this film, particularly Arnie's neighborhood, were shot in the same South Pasadena neighborhood that director John Carpenter used in Halloween.
No,
So it's
okay.
the same.
At least this time it was
Neighborhood I
actually
would never live in. Then.
it was actually California this time,
Yeah.
not Illinois.
Exactly.
Rockville, or what was the name?
I don't know. They had California.
Had the
plates out.
Rutgers.
Right, yeah.
They had the Rutgers R. Yeah,
You're like,
you're
is
right.
that Rutgers?
Stephen King chose the 58 Plymouth Fury for Christine because it was a forgotten car. He didn't want a car that already had a legend attached to it, like the 50s Thunderbird. So he chose the Plymouth Fury.
I kind of thought, and not that it matters, I'm not a car guy in any way, but I thought this was like a 57 Fury. They kept saying 57 Fury, and then in the
No,
movie
you're
it's
thinking
58.
57 Chevy.
It was
I'm thinking of.
it was in '57 when she was made. So
Oh,
they're probably
he said
making
September.
That's why I said
And he says that
58.
it's
Yeah.
sold in right. Yes, that's right. 57, but it was a 58.
There's a movie playing during the drive-in scene. Do you know a movie that was?
I tried.
Wow.
I tried to
So,
figure it out.
It was
but I
tried
so
to figure
rainy, I could not see it.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand because I honestly thought
It was
they would.
Thank God It's Friday from 1978, which features a running gag where a character's cherished automobile keeps getting damaged, both deliberately and inadvertently throughout the film.
I don't. I wonder if I saw that movie. That kind of sounds familiar, but then again, there's a
Definitely.
restaurant called that, so maybe I'm just thinking of that.
Here's
I just doubted that people went to the drive-in like that on
Oh my God.
when it was pouring rain.
I love driving.
I don't know why. I love drive-ins too, but I would not have wanted to go to it when it's
Back then, you didn't go to the drive-through to watch the movie, especially if you're two teenagers.
I did.
True.
Yeah.
You would have thought.
I'm not
Jason
talking
was
about
two
their
teenagers.
intent to go to the movies. I'm just surprised that the theater, like a drive-in theater, would play the movie on a pouring, raining night. And there's no way water was not dripping into that car.
Oh, yeah.
When the speaker was through the window.
Because back in those days, you had to pull the speaker in.
Yeah.
Now you
You had
just
to sit it
now
in.
you just tune the radio to
Yeah.
the station.
Yeah, but you have to literally put that speaker
I
in
wanna
the
go to
window,
that-
so the window's open a crack.
We're going to
water
go to
was
that
pouring in.
Mahoning, Pennsylvania drive-in.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanna do that. They have like special themed weekends and everything
Okay.
there. Yeah. But that's what we should open up here.
No,
Jersey,
no shit, man.
No-
I think it's such a good idea, especially the longer this global warming lasts, and we can start showing movies in December outside. Because
and there's going to be all,
it'll be 80
all old
degrees
movies anyway. There's going to be no new movies.
True.
Here's Keith Gordon said this on a DVD extra, which I find this very stupid. I think, I don't know. Tell me what you think of it. Keith Gordon says that he pretended the car was a woman, so wherever he touched the car, he imagined which part of a woman the car was. Just seems weird that he used that as his.
This is your elbow. I'm rubbing your elbow. I want to know why Dennis, who is a star of the varsity football team and has hot girls like Kelly Preston hitting on him, friends with Arnie. That doesn't make sense.
Neighbors,
but they weren't even like next door neighbors.
That's friends. That's
kids.
friends
in elementary school.
But that is a kid you kick to the curb as soon as high school starts and be like, listen, man, I am part of the cool kids now. You will not be in my hemisphere.
Dennis was a good guy.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one that was. I was the Arnie in high school anyway, so I was the one getting kicked to the curb. But
so you were to me too.
My next door neighbor was the star of the quarterback of the football team, and it was amazing how he forgot my name when I got to high school. I'm like, John, you were in my pool this summer, and now you don't know my name.
Brian was lucky that the smart guys remembered him. The football players, remembered him.
That's true.
Back then, did you have a football team back then? There was enough people in this town for a football team?
Yeah. You remember Brian Wolverton from Northern? He was a teacher.
I know Brandon Wolverton.
He became he was a teacher and a coach.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We graduated together. He was captain of the football team our senior year or junior year.
Interesting.
And friends with Brian still.
Yeah. He was one of the only ones to tolerate me.
I was going to say, that is a friendship of convenience since you're the only two people still living in northern Burlington. So it's just like, well, I remember you from high school and that's it. Everybody else seemed to escape this town.
Keith Gordon was nervous about kissing Alexandra Paul, so he asked her to practice first.
Yeah, that's what I said to Michelle. I used that line with Michelle for like 3 years. I'm like, I'm not really good at kissing, so can we practice? And then she was pregnant.
3 years. 3 years to get practice. Slow learner.
Definitely.
Kevin Bacon was offered the lead role.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
okay.
as Arnie?
But
really?
But he ended up choosing Footloose instead.
Yeah,
at one point, Bacon was going to originally star in Dolan's Cadillac, another Stephen King story centered around a car.
I've never even heard that.
Yeah.
Stephen King?
Dolan's
I don't know
Cadillac.
King
Maybe
book?
it's another small story or something.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Bacon's too good looking to play Arnie. Like, as bad of an actor as what's his name, Keith Gordon, he's nerdy enough to play the role.
Oh, yeah.
But he never actually turned good looking.
No,
so
but
Kevin
I'm saying
Bacon
like Kevin Bacon,
make him a nerd and then
So what do you do? Put glasses on him?
How
And he's
about
still
this
like
one?
Kevin Bacon? Like it's like any of
Yeah,
those.
did Christine like cure his eye vision because he stopped wearing glasses?
Stop wearing glasses. Get his
He got
hair look
contact.
better.
You knew he was cool when he came to the school and his collar was popped. You
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
uh-oh, collar's up. You know he's cool now because
Black leather vest.
And then the black
he had the
leather,
Han Solo vest on. As soon as he walked in with the Han Solo vest on, I was like, what is going on here?
Scott Baio was considered to play Arnie Cunningham.
Again, too good looking.
Again,
Brooke
but
Shields
would've been better.
as Lee. Would have been, I think she would have been a good Lee. Brooke
Oh,
Shields.
yeah.
been a good combo.
I was always a big fan of Brooke Shields. Yeah, Scott Baio was too good looking. Too.
Nicolas
again,
Cage
make
auditioned
him
for Buddy.
red.
That would have been good. Oh, I'm broken up your car, man.
Yeah, I've got a pocket knife right here.
There goes your yogurt, dude.
In the novel, there's a scene in which Dennis and Roseanne are in the cinema watching Grease. Dennis doesn't like the movie, but Roseanne loves it. In the
Who's
movie-
Roseanne? Is that Kelly Preston's
In the
character?
movie,
Okay.
Roseanne is played by Kelly Preston,
Okay.
future Grease star.
You're
John
saying Roseanne, and I'm
Carpenter-directed.
thinking of like Roseanne Barr sitting there with Dennis. It's like, this is a great movie.
The Christine Belford, she played Arnie's mom. She was only 12 years older than him in real life.
Really?
Hey, that's how old Sean Connery is to Harrison Ford in Last Crusade, 12 years older than
And
him.
he's supposed to be his father.
My father.
John Cusack also auditioned for Arnie.
Now, see, John Cusack, I could see
see?
being better at that, especially at that age. He was really young then. He could play because he was playing those nerdy characters
He was kind of
early
like,
Yeah.
on.
he was
Yeah.
like, skinny,
Like he was in
lanky, kind of
16 Candles, like one of the guys with the bras on his
Didn't he-
head. Like
yeah,
he could have played that role.
Didn't he have like braces and did he have the glasses with the
The
teeth
movie
on
we
it?
did earlier this year with
Oh, was he in
Class?
class?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. He was one of the kids in
He was
class.
one of the younger
too,
kids
yeah.
in class, yeah.
I find it fun. Like, it's so funny how nostalgia tints your vision of the past because in 1978, when this movie takes place, seeing a car that's 20 years older and being like so captivated by it, like that's like our kids driving around and seeing like a 2002 Hyundai and being like, oh, they don't make cars like that anymore. Like, yeah, they do. They make them like that every day.
Thank God they don't make cars like that anymore.
The guy who gave
Now we have a push button start.
Yeah, right.
the guy who gave the Heimlich, he was driving a good car. He was driving a 72.
How did that guy know that girl was
72
choking to death in the
Impala.
car?
And how did the door open for him? And
Also,
nobody else?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she unlocked it.
How could he see with all that rain?
with all that rain, how did he know that she was in any kind of
Right.
distress?
Well, because it was lit up inside.
He'd been
remember?
watching her.
Oh, yeah, it does
Christine
light up.
made it bright inside.
It does light up inside.
Right.
yeah.
That wasn't the smartest
Yeah, but
move.
with all that rain, I don't think you could have told that she was choking.
That's just part of the story. They had to get to move along.
And where were the lights coming from?
He wasn't even coming over to give her
that
the
was
Heimlich. He was worried about
Christine,
the car.
magically
Oh, yeah.
made lights.
You know?
Yeah.
Only cared about the car. That's it. I liked one of the best parts of this movie is how the radio would play a song that was
Sort of like what was going on in this
like
scene.
narrating the scene or something. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in and stuff like that. And
That was great when that one started playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it pushes him forward in
Oh.
the seat, and it's just like
I don't know if
keeps
that's
pushing him
possible.
forward.
If the seat of a car can.
Well, you saw how it was
administer
going-
enough
you saw how
pressure to
far it was
crush
going
you.
forward.
Well,
It
if
was
she
like
could
this
turn the
far.
lights on that didn't exist
That is
inside the
true.
car, she could move.
But
it.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, how much pressure does that seat have to be doing to push that steering wheel into that guy's chest?
Maybe Christine
lot.
was smushing them both together.
Could be. Because she was in rough shape at that point anyway. She was going to heal herself afterwards.
I got good news for
She's
you,
pretty
though.
tough. She's pretty.
There's a remake being made by Sony Pictures and Blumhouse right now.
They
Yeah,
are still
that's not
doing
a
that
good-
because
that's
I
not-
know they talked about it a while, like
development.
right after COVID.
It says in
time.
development, yeah. So
A lot of these Stephen King movies have been remade. Dead Zone,
Yeah.
Carrie.
Not remade.
Shining.
Isn't it a sequel? It's not a remake.
it just says a remake. That's what I.
Wow,
saw.
a sequel?
I thought it was a sequel.
Well, that'd be cool if they could get these guys back together and be like,
Like Revenge
Now
on the two that.
now you got Dennis and
Flattened her at the
Lee
end of
as
it.
like 50-year-olds, like
Yeah,
trying to
or they
escape.
have kids and they're passing the car down now.
And like Christine got smushed at the end, but
But she
can,
moved.
she can fix herself.
Sure, of
Right.
course.
That served
guy goes
nothing.
They
walking
had
by
the-
with the radio.
That was great. Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to chop her up and send her to the
You
four
have to,
corners
you
of
have
the
to
earth.
send her to the
Right.
sun. You have to put her on a satellite to
separate
the
her
sun.
pieces, and but
Bury
yeah.
her in the ocean.
That's why I
you
think
know?
it's a revenge. I thought it was a revenge.
Well, I don't know what it's about. It just says remake, so it could have.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a remake, but that could be like a retelling of the story, or it could be a continuation. It doesn't say.
In the book,
because she's going after Dennis.
in the book, one of the bully kids does not get killed during the main course of the book, and then Dennis is listening to the news after they've killed Christine, and he hears about whatever the guy's name was being killed in a car accident, like across the country or something like that, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Uh-oh, Christine's back." That's how it ends, like with him thinking, like,
That's what I'm thinking.
Is she
it's
coming
a
after
sequel.
me now?
Sequel, yeah.
"Oh, and by the way, Dennis." Is he the slowest healer on the planet?
Oh.
Because he got injured in a football game in like September. On Thanksgiving, he's still in the hospital. And then New Year's, he's still got a cast on
But
his
remember,
leg.
his doctor said if it was an inch the other way, he would have been.
That doesn't. That,
But he
but it wasn't
wasn't.
the inch the other way, so he should have healed in like 6 weeks.
He was
Also-
sitting there in his boxer shorts and a neck brace and nothing.
and then he had the cast on his leg on New
They
Year's. So I
kept
was like,
showing the
he's-
dates too. Like you
Yeah.
kept seeing the date pop up, and you're like, "Damn, he's still injured."
And I,
Then he had
but
that
I was
brace.
like, "What's the significance?"
He finally
Like,
went
why
down to
do
the
you
brace.
need
He
these
still had the
dates?
brace when he was climbing into the damn garage.
Yeah.
And that was in they definitely referenced New Year's.
New Year's, yeah.
So that was at
Yeah.
least 3 months after the injury. And he's like, I'm like, how slow are your bones
But
healing,
also,
dude?
like, how bad of a football injury was it? I mean, DeMar Hamlin was back in the
It looked
field-
like
on
he
the
kind of
field
got.
He
anyway.
didn't look
It looked
that
like he
bad.
kind of got jacked up, and he went on his on his.
I still don't
back,
think it would have
but-
been that bad.
No,
But I mean, the hospital, he did not look injured.
no.
Just other than the neck brace, and then the fact that he was still.
And
there.
how cool was Arnie when he brought the beer in there, and he's just like,
Yeah, I couldn't get a look at that.
Did you think I was going to stick around here all day?
That
Well, it's the
beer,
fact that
I
he
couldn't
said
get the
they've
label.
lost-
But they
they've
were-
Southern
lost every
Cross.
game.
That was
They
Southern
lost every
Cross?
game since
Okay.
you've been hurt. How many games? How long have you been hurt?
Yeah, he was hurt for way too
Is
long.
that for a whole
Oh yeah,
season?
he said you've lost every game since your
you've
injury,
been
and it's
injured.
like the next week after. I'm like, did you play like every night this week?
Like, because yeah,
They were the other time when they went out, just the two of them in the car. They were drinking Old Mill. That might have been New Year's. That might have been New Year's when they were.
I have a
drinking the Old
beer
Mill.
here. Do you?
They
Well,
made a
Brian just
comment.
said it.
what was it?
Southern Cross.
Yeah, that was-
I didn't see the label on that.
Yeah.
Did you just know the symbol or something like that?
Oh no, I
It
saw
says it right
Oh,
on it.
did it say it?
Southern
I
Cross
was
beer,
looking,
have it right
but-
there. Yeah. And one thing I hate that Lee said at the end, she said, "God, I hate rock and
I know,
roll."
that's such a-
that was so.
No one would. Why rock and roll make Christine evil?
I mean-
Like, there's no real
No,
references
you know what made
to.
Christine evil? The shitters.
The
Bunch of shitters.
But
Nothing made her evil in the movie.
But
That's the
ro-
problem.
but rock and roll wasn't so
Just
Like
because the song's
just because
playing.
the radio was playing every time she killed someone, that doesn't mean it's rock and roll. It would have been better if she says, "I hate country music,"
Alexandra
just for
Paul,
no reason. I hate country
Alexandra
music.
Paul didn't like her performance in the movie. She said she wishes John would have directed her more. She said she was such a new actress. She needed more direction. She
Yeah,
felt.
she was. Yeah, new. They said.
What do you kids got? What do you kids got?
And what was the deal with her pawing all over Dennis?
Oh my god! As soon as
Right?
we had in that equipment, the what do you call
Wait,
it?
who? Lee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, also in the book, they had much more of a cheating on Arnie relationship kind of thing going
Okay.
on. I wanted Christine had asked me earlier today, why
Wait,
Christine?
the movie asked you a question.
It said, why Christine?
I wanted to know why he named the car Christine. I was like, do we know why Stephen
Oh, I
King
don't
even
know.
chose Christine?
So I looked it up. I had to look it up. The origin of the killer car's name comes from Christine Romero, George Romero's wife. Stephen King was filming Creepshow in Pittsburgh with George and Christine Romero when he came up with the idea for the novel and decided to name the car after
Nice.
George Romero's wife.
Do you think he
So-
liked her?
he liked her, or
I
she
don't
thought
know.
she's a bitch.
It's like, she's
think he slept
evil.
with her?
She is pure
She's
evil.
evil.
I don't know.
That's
about
the one thing
that.
I didn't like that in the movie, that it never gave an explanation
But-
of why she was evil. Like
Oh,
born
yeah,
evil.
yeah,
Like,
it
you
was just-
said that right off the bat. You're like, oh, evil from the start. But it's like, but why?
Just
Like,
because
Yeah.
Detroit's an evil place.
And how did she kill the first guy she killed?
The guy
Just
with the cigar in his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just fell out of the
Right.
car dead, and it was like, how?
Was
how
that
did
carbon monoxide
she do
poisoning? Like, did they not?
They could have
They
told
didn't
us
do
at
anything.
least. Yeah.
And at one point, the garage guy, what's his name?
Darnell.
Darnell. He's like, I knew a guy that had a car like this. He shot himself in it. I was like, was that Christine? Like, did he know a guy that had owned Christine before or
Yeah.
something like that? But I guess,
But it could have been because the owner did kill himself.
yeah. He might have been
What's his-
referencing
I don't-
that
I don't
guy.
remember his name, but he killed himself.
But the brother said that he carbon monoxide himself because he pulled the tube into the
his
car
wife
with him.
died carbon monoxide.
But then he said
then he said he did
did
too.
it to himself.
Oh,
He's like, because he
he did
pulled
to
the
himself.
tube into the car with him. I mean, Christine probably did it to him anyway, but
John Stockwell played Dennis. He had to take bulldozer driving lessons
Oh.
for the film. Yeah.
I would think so.
I wonder how long. Like, were those intense?
I think it's like
Intense
multiple stick shifts. And
Oh, you're
things,
probably
yeah.
right about that. Yeah. Arnie at one point says, "Has it ever occurred to you that part of being a parent is trying to kill your kids?"
Yeah, that was,
I was
Oh my
like-
weird.
god,
I was like-
that was weird.
I've had kids for 23 years. I've never even one time attempted to kill
I
them.
wanted
Not
to
even one
ask you
time.
about that.
And I have
Yeah.
actually thought in my head murderous rage towards my children, but I've never actually tried to kill them. I was like, man, if you drop dead right now, that'd be fucking great. But I've never actually tried to
Tried.
kill them.
Well, when he said that, I was like, I want to say, did he actually say try to kill
Yeah.
them? Like, what parent tries to kill
There's
Yeah.
a few parents out there that probably did.
them?
Oh, sure there are.
Yeah.
What was that
Did
girl
you
that
know that Detective
The one-
put her kids in the
Junkins?
trunk or whatever?
Yeah, I was just thinking the one that drove him into the water,
Yeah.
right?
Detective Junkins, Harry Dean Stanton's character, he drove a Plymouth Fury as well.
Oh, was that what he was
His
driving
like
too?
a 1977 or
funny.
78, yeah. And Dennis drove a 68 Dodge Charger 440. That's for you, Anthony.
Yeah, I knew that was actually a Dodge Charger, and I don't know anything about cars, but I was like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
those are
That's
nice. I like
looking
them.
Car.
Well, going back to the when he was running over Christine to crush her, she fully healed herself, and then the literally second after, when he was driving, she was completely destroyed again.
Yeah. Well, that might have been a bad editing thing.
That was bad
Yeah.
editing right there.
Bad
And they
edit.
were behind the car, and he was in front of the car.
Yeah.
The special edition DVD has 20 deleted, extended, or alternate scenes.
Damn.
Is that deaths?
And they're all listed here. I don't feel like going through all of them.
Yeah, I wish they would like.
I felt like there should have been more.
We've had those conversations about like I wish they would put those all into the movie so we could watch it one time. I never want to watch it again. Like we went to
There should be
Apocalypse
an option to
And,
watch
yeah,
it with.
I
or
want to watch it
without that.
one time with all the stuff in there so it can be like, oof, yeah, that's a good idea.
Or be
to
like, you
cut
know what, that
out.
actually works. You know, like I needed an extra 23 minutes.
When Arnie first gets in Dennis's car, I guess the day they're going, the day before they get Christine, he's talking about like his Scrabble night with his parents. He had ratio and he
He
could have
went
made
to
a
play
fellatio,
fellatio,
and his mom said it wasn't. I was like, this kid's a senior in high school and he's playing Scrabble with his parents. He did, Buddy was right.
But he went from
Buddy was right. He was like bullying that kid for a reason.
You went from
'cause-
playing Scrabble with him to like saying, go fuck yourself.
well, that's
basically,
because
you know,
Christine made him bad.
within minutes.
As far as the movie goes, yes, within 37 minutes, cursing at his parents.
Oh man, that's pretty much all I had.
Yeah,
if you have any,
I am
anything
actually
else
out
in
of
yours.
notes
Do you have anything
too.
in yours?
No.
Your inner monologue?
Your inner
Anything?
monologue got nothing?
No, he's trying to get me to
Did
do
you guys
other
watch this
things.
with anybody else? Was there any other family members?
No,
Of the
just the
family?
two of
No,
us.
just two of us.
Just us. All right. So we want to get into the
Christine was
also-
hiding her eyes during a lot of this.
Really?
Yeah.
I like John Carpenter
For no
that.
reason.
John Carpenter gives you
Because she was scared or because she was falling
because
asleep?
I just
She was
knew.
scared.
Okay.
No, I just knew.
There
Like
was-
I knew as soon as the music starts.
No,
you're
nothing
like,
was going.
"Ah."
Nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Really?
disappointed with like.
The car door, the when the roof of a hood went, the hood of the
They
car
showed
went down.
nothing.
Yeah,
But I
like when
wasn't
Buddy
sure.
got run over, you saw Christine behind him, and then it made that really cool noise, and then you just saw the body kind of flip out behind it. I'm
On
like,
fire.
oh, like
That's what I.
they
just
should have
wasn't
shown
sure.
that. And the one kid that got killed in the garage, you saw him kind of like
Yeah, he was
Wide-eye.
cut in half, and we didn't get to
and
see
you didn't
that.
see it at all. Oh, that guy, yeah, where he's like, that's where he scraped pieces of shit up off the ground with shovels. But
guess
the
you
kid in
wanna-
the garage, you just saw him get wide-eyed, and then the garage
Yeah.
blew up.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
like you didn't
Yeah,
see
you
those
could've
guys get hit.
They
Yeah.
had better deaths.
Yeah. Well, I was just, and it was just the beginning. It was only those first two where I was like, ooh, and then they didn't show me anything. So I was like, okay.
Did you watch any of our other Stephen King movies from this season?
Oh, yeah.
Dead Zone or
I
Cujo when
don't
he was
remember if I've
watching
seen Dead Zone, the movie. I saw the series.
Oh, is that the one with Anthony Michael Hall?
Yeah. I like the series. And I've seen Cujo.
Yeah, would you like
This is our
Cujo?
Yeah,
Third-
I
our
definitely
third,
had a little
yeah.
eye blocking in Cujo.
Our third Stephen King movie in a row.
In
Yeah.
a row, yeah.
That's crazy. 1983 was Stephen King
That's
heavy.
like 36 in a row, right? Isn't that, what was that? 36 in a row. What's that from?
36 blowjobs and
Yeah, I was seeing it. You got
Clerks.
it. Clerks, yeah. That's Saturday. This Saturday.
This Saturday.
We're going to get some signatures.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus is going to have him sign his boob and he's going to get it tattooed on there. I also watched it solo because I watched it this morning at 5:30 in the morning.
I really like this movie, and I would definitely watch this movie again. I enjoyed it. I like the cars in this movie a lot. Arnie's not a good actor, but
No, he's not.
you know, I'm gonna read the book. I never read the book, so I definitely want to read the book. But I give this an 88. I really like this movie.
88 miles an hour.
Again, that's what I was going for. That's been one of my famous scores. Whenever I really,
Is it
really like
88?
a movie, is 88 for the DeLorean.
That's a gold star for you.
Shout out to Michael J. Fox.
I knew my
Midnight
score for
Man,
this
I should
movie.
do that movie.
I knew my score for this movie before I even watched it today because I knew I gave Cujo a 75 and I gave Dead Zone an 80. And I knew this was better than both of
He's
them.
giving it his 85.
It's definitely an 85. I knew it was an 85 before I even watched it. And I
And it
loved
didn't
watching it
change
again.
after you watched it? It didn't change?
I would watch it right now too. If you wanted to watch Christine right now, I'd watch it again right now. I
I
love
would
this
too,
movie.
yeah.
It's so much fun.
It's a great name.
I'm bumping up 5 for this one too because I like this one the best. So
Yeah.
I did 65, 70. This one's 75.
All right,
Awesome,
cool.
yeah.
How about you, Miss Christine? Namesake of the movie.
I gave it an 80, which is good for me. Like, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
At no point did I want to be like, why are we watching this? No, it's a good movie.
It is like, I think we had talked about like Cujo. It took so
Cujo.
long to get
Yeah.
to the action, and Dead Zone kind of.
And it's only
had some-
one scene.
But
Yeah,
I will
it's really
also,
in one
I do
location for
include
that.
that I think the acting is horrible.
Oh, terrible,
acting
terrible.
is terrible.
And there's a
But it-
lot of problems with logic in this, but it
And
was
the
still
logic,
enjoyable.
which is odd. Like, was like, why? And
There's
but
no
yet-
problem. What
still watch-
the fact that the car was able, he was able
But it's
to.
weird how that'll
fix it
bother
within
you
a night.
sometimes.
The
for certain
decisions they
things.
made.
Well, and I just wish, like, number one, my big thing is I wish they gave some kind of detail as to why or how the car got possessed. Like, how or why? Like,
It just
not
was.
not on the assembly line just because she's possessed. That part always still bothered me.
Just because is not a good reason.
yeah.
Just because.
And then the connection, the relationship they'd established between Dennis and the other girl. What's her name?
Lee or
Lee.
yeah, okay.
Roseanne.
Which was like, where did that come from? Like when she got into the
She puts
equipment.
her head on his
Right
lap,
away, like
and
right
it's like,
away.
Yeah,
Are they
it's
that
Like, what?
close?
Like they were not. They didn't establish that, but they did in the book. But they didn't
did.
establish
A
it
lot
in
of the stuff that
movie.
you're questioning. If you read the book, you'd be like, okay.
They
And maybe
established
that's
it.
why I have
But
no
that's-
problem with any of this
Ordering
because
it tonight.
I knew the
But you
book
can-
logic already. So I was like, you know, it's
but
all.
like she had got to represent that a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit in the movie, and then
But-
the stupid ass decisions in the last scenes,
Yeah.
where it's like, come on, you never once thought that the garage office might be locked.
Yeah. And how is that going to protect you? Christine just smashes
She's gonna
into
drive right
everything.
through the freaking. And why? Hey, stay right there. And, I'll
And Christine
protect
was
you with the
hiding behind all that
equipment.
wood. How did it pile the wood on top of itself to
yeah.
come flying out
As
of
soon
that?
as I moved the bulldozer, turn the bulldozer on, that's when you close the gate.
Yeah, that whole plan was. Just,
I did think one of the cooler aspects of the movie was the blacked out windows on Christine at night when it was driving around, especially killing the bullies.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah.
it-
Because you were
wasn't
like,
He had difficult shifting too, didn't he?
but you were like, is
out-
Arnie
In
in the
there?
car
Yeah.
or not? Like you weren't ever sure. I mean, when it came back to the
They
garage,
said
I guess.
they blacked out the windows like that, so
Yeah.
the stunt driver.
Sure,
was obviously
yeah,
in
that's
there.
why.
But
But
it made
I
it
think
harder for the stunt driver to see it. Said.
I thought it made it look just more menacing having those
It does
black
look more
windows. I was
menacing
like,
with
that
black
is a
windows,
nice
yeah.
look.
Yeah, and running down the middle of the street while a car's chasing
Well,
you. That
yeah.
was great.
I mean, that's
It's a good
like
place to hide, right?
that goes back to what was it? The Alien Prometheus movie where they're running away from the spaceship that's crashing in a circle, and they're just running. Like all you had to do was kind of like go to the right,
Yeah.
just change your direction, just do a jig to the right, and nope, just run straight and let that thing run over you. All Buddy had to do
But
was
you
kind of
always
like
zigzag when somebody's shooting arrows at you. You
Definitely.
gotta zigzag.
Exactly.
Buddy,
so
get
like
behind
running
a
down the middle of the
tree.
road
Do
while a
anything.
car's chasing you.
Yeah, I'll say right down the middle
That-
line.
Like,
yellow-
you really
the first
think you're
guy that
gonna
got
outrun the
killed. Now I
car.
know he doesn't know that it's an
Yeah,
evil
hide
possessed
is
car
your
at the
only
beginning,
option.
but he was on a concrete bunker at the very beginning. If he just stayed right where he was,
Yeah.
Christine couldn't kill him because it would have driven into that and he would have been protected. But
And he would have had enough, as Christine was crushing herself into that little spot,
Oh.
he could have got on the hood.
jump in the air.
Yeah.
Jump on the hood,
Jump in the
jump
air and
right
get
over
over
By
it.
the
Yeah.
time you run over it, yeah,
Just stand there and stare at her.
And scream.
as it's going in.
It's like the
Slowly
guy
as
from
it's
Austin
going in.
Powers as the thing's coming at it from a million miles. So just like,
What's next week?
I don't think we've decided yet, or have we? Are we doing Evil Dead with Mac next week, or
We didn't make a plan, or possibly mortuary.
Mortuary with
Possibly
with who?
My cousin Zach.
And does friend of the show that hasn't been on the show yet, Rich, want to be on yet?
He said he wants to be on, but he didn't pick a movie.
Rich was one of the guys that went to the concert with us. One of
Oh.
Jason's many cousins. Jason has like 50 cousins in Hamilton alone.
I did. It's a lot.
Good to have a big family.
And Surf too.
I have no cousins.
Yeah, we have Surf 2 also is on the list. Eddie Deason, Grease 2. You may remember him from Grease 2.
Or Grease 1.
Yeah, Grease 1.
Or as I call it, Grease. It's the only one. There's
Are
no
we,
one.
consider-
are we considering
Better.
Twilight Zone a
We gotta do
horror
Twilight
movie,
Zone.
right?
Oh, we gotta do
I
Twilight
mean, we're
Zone.
considering the Twilight. Is it horror though? I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah. And then
I mean, you want to see something really scary? That's
I
a
do.
horror movie.
Yeah. Psycho 2. I don't think. Sleepaway Camp. That was the other one.
Sleepaway Camp.
And Video.
That's the girl that went to my elementary school. Was in that?
Oh.
The girl.
Don't
before-
tell him any spoilers on that movie because he's never seen that movie.
You never saw Sleepaway Camp?
No.
He doesn't know that big spoiler at the end. You know what I'm talking about, right?
One of the girls in
ba, ba.
that. No, just went to my elementary school.
I thought she was about to tell him. To. I was like, just didn't see
No,
nothing. I was like,
I listened. I was friends with her brother.
Friend.
Friends.
no, friend.
Elementary school. Friends.
Oh, okay. Well,
She wasn't throwing it around then. That took her till she was like in college. For
At least
a
seventh
month.
grade,
A
right?
month.
Yeah. Catholic girls.
not college.
Catholic
Catholic
school
girl.
girl.
I never, you know what? Billy Joel says Catholic girls start much too late. All the girls that I knew that were really fast in high school were all Catholic. I remember when I heard that song, I'm like, he doesn't know the same Catholic girls that I know because they were all the tramps.
Yeah.
Tramps.
There was
And
a few.
Michelle's Catholic. And Jesus Christ,
few.
like, there's no one faster than her. Ooh,
Our
baby.
principal called us all into the cafeteria and called us all sluts.
As he
Wow,
did.
what grade?
He should have.
Senior year.
Oh, that's one of the things. I'm so glad you said that. When the principal is bringing Lee around at the very beginning,
Oh.
when the guys are at the locker, and he's like, "You should join the marching band. It's a really nice way to meet guys." I'm like, "Is this principal like pimping her out?"
Well, the fact that
It was
they also
so
she said
random.
she's-
It's a real nice way
she
to meet
looks
guys.
smart, but she's got the body of a something. And I was like,
A
she
skank.
walked, But she walked out with wearing those long shorts.
Oh, and she had
that
the
sweater.
stockings up to her knees and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like, there's no body of a. I can't remember what they said.
Skank, was it?
That's not what he
Do you
said.
listen to that podcast, The Legion of Skanks?
No.
I listen to that one.
That's just Jason's a skank.
It's Big J. Okerson, Louis J. Gomez, and Dave Smith.
Oh.
It's a pretty good podcast.
Sounds like
It's the most offensive podcast on earth. That's what they say.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
And you don't listen to it?
Yeah.
Shocked.
I listen. But I think you could.
Jason didn't say Arnie's mock name at all during this entire podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We should bring up that real quick. Thank you for sticking around, all our listeners. Brian was going to say that name, weren't you?
Yeah. Cunningham.
There you go, Arnie Cunningham.
Cunningham.
That's from Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Oh, I was going to say, what is this
It's a
image
Sarlacc
from?
pit.
Feel the thickness of those notes. My God.
Sarlacc pit. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I was trying to figure out from this angle if that was something from
But
Christine. I was like, I
speaking
don't get
the
that.
Legion of Podcasts, you can download that on Spreaker. It's the same place you can get our podcast. Download, rate, subscribe, and review the exciting and new podcast. I'm the Jazoo over there on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. Did I have that right? Yeah, I think I got that right. If not, switch it around, kids. You know what I'm saying? I've been Jason. This is the exciting and new podcast.
I'm Andy, AEGonzo1 on Twitter, AEGonzo1970 on Instagram.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
And I'm Christine, and thanks for having me on for this
You have any
great episode of Christine.
anything you want to promote? Anything?
I
else?
have no sight